The cognac glass on the mahogany tray wasn't just trembling, it was rattling like a seizure. Uncle Victor, a man who measured his worth in offshore accounts and handshaken senator palms, had gone the color of printer paper. Through the oval window of his Citation X, the sky had turned into a horror movie. 1 F-35 Lightning II, matte gray, lethal, riding our wings so close I could read the pilot's call sign stenciled under the canopy. Its afterburner lit the cabin orange every time it flexed. Victor was screaming at the cockpit, convinced we'd wandered into a no-fly zone above D.C. or that someone had finally come to collect on one of his bribes. The cockpit door flew open. The captain, sweating through his epaulets, didn't even glance at the man signing his checks. He looked straight at me, holding a tablet flashing blood red. "Ma'am," he choked. "NORAD just lit up the board. That escort isn't for Mr. Langford. It's for you." Victor had spent $42 million on this jet, so he could feel untouchable. 10 seconds later, he learned the difference between expensive and classified. It started 8 days earlier, at the family strategy session, disguised as Sunday brunch on his Chesapeake estate. Victor Langford, defense contractor royalty, lobbyist extraordinaire, had summoned us to approve his son's Street Bart's wedding budget. I sat at the kids' end of the table in a thrift store blazer, picking at eggs Benedict the First couldn't afford, doing my best wallpaper impression. Victor's eyes slid down the table and locked on me like a targeting pod. "Sophia, darling," he announced to the room, "you can tag along on the jet. But no ratty backpacks, no talking to my partners, and for God's sake sit in the rear-facing seat so no one has to look at those shoes." Laughter rippled like dominoes. To them, I was the broke cousin who worked for the government, the one who still drove a 2012 Accord with a dented fender. They had no clue the ratty backpack held a ruggedized laptop that could redirect a carrier strike group. I tried to warn him. "Uncle Vic, my travel is restricted. I have protocols." He flicked a manicured hand. "Sophie, your little Parks and Rec job doesn't come with protocols. You're flying with me, or you're not coming to the wedding at all. Don't make me look stingy in front of the family." My cousin Olivia, the bride, fake pouted. "I'll Venmo you for a new dress if you're short, sophomore. We can't have you looking government." They laughed again. I smiled the way you do when you're calculating blast radii. What they never understood: I don't push papers. I'm a GS, 15 intelligence officer embedded with Joint Special Operations Command. My official title is boring on purpose, Senior Mobility Coordinator. My real job is deciding which doors Delta Force kicks in and which dictators wake up in handcuffs. My backpack carries the only existing key to an operation that still makes generals flinch when they say its name. I'm what the community calls a walking SCF. If I go dark for 90 minutes, satellites ask, fighters scramble, and very polite men with rifles start asking questions. I should have taken the commercial flight. Instead, exhausted from arguing, I logged the tail number into the classified travel portal and flagged it low visibility, civilian transport. I assumed Victor's pilots, ex-Air Force, supposedly, would file a normal flight plan. I assumed wrong. Victor, in his infinite genius, decided to fly black. No manifest, no transponder, no record. A ghost flight to dodge fees and keep a Russian oligarch's name off the passenger list. To him, it was clever accounting. To the U.S. defense grid, it looked like someone had just stuffed a top-secret human vault into an unregistered airframe and hit the throttle. Takeoff never happened. We were halfway down the private runway when the jet braked so hard the Dom Perignon became a projectile. Victor's glass exploded against the bulkhead. Before he could finish cursing, the sky screamed. The F-35 did a knife-edge pass, so low the jet rocked on its gear. Black Suburbans with light bars swarmed the tarmac like hornets. Victor was still yelling about his lawyers when the cabin door got ripped off its hinges. A dozen Air Force security forces in full kit poured in, weapons up. The lead master sergeant didn't ask nicely. "Hands. Show me hands." Everybody except Raven 5 down. Victor tried the "do you know who I am?" routine. The sergeant zip-tied him to a seat so fast his Rolex left a bruise. A full colonel I'd briefed in the Situation Room last month stepped aboard, came straight to me, and saluted like I was wearing 4 stars. "Ma'am, we have a hard lock on your beacon. You are not authorized for unvetted civilian transit. We're extracting you to Andrews now." Victor's mouth opened and closed like a fish on carpet. "She's my niece. She's a secretary." The colonel didn't blink. "Sir, stand down or be dropped. This asset holds Prometheus-level access. You just tried to exfil her on an unsanctioned vector. That's a felony, with a side of treason." I unbuckled, stepped over Victor's Italian loafers, and walked off his jet without looking back. Waiting on the tarmac was an unmarked C-32B, the Air Force version of a 757, ramped down, engines spooling. My new ride. Victor spent the next 72 hours in a holding room while the FBI decided whether he was a tax cheat or a spy. His jet got gutted panel by panel. He missed the wedding. Olivia walked down the aisle wondering why Daddy wasn't there to pay for the fireworks. For months later, a thick envelope from a K Street law firm landed on my classified desk. Inside, a groveling request for a character reference so Victor could keep his security clearance and his contracts. Without it, he was finished. I read it twice, walked to the industrial shredder we use for TS/SCI waste, and fed it in. The machine growled like it was enjoying itself. Some lessons can't be bought. They have to be delivered at Mach 1.2 with a side of federal indictment. Real power doesn't announce itself with a loud tie or a loud mouth. It just scrambles fighters when you forget your place. If you've ever watched someone realize their money means nothing next to your clearance, drop your story below. I read every one.